It's up to you. You guys. You and Pumakel and whoever else gets involved sorts out the stream to YouTube and whatever, guys. It's a huge team. It really genuinely is a huge team. And you'll never ever please everybody, ever. And a lot of people hate us, and that's fine. I respect that and I understand that. The only thing where I ever get slightly annoyed with is when people lie and make things up and twist things to suit their own personal needs, and then you think, Jesus Christ, this like Voobly, for example, there's 150 plus staff, if not more. I'm probably erring on the conservative side with 150 plus. There's probably more people than that on Voobly that do everything to keep this game going, keep it alive, give you the lobbies, give you the game rooms, that pull in and help from other people like the user patch teams to bring you everything else and then integrate that with Voobly. Every single one of those people do it for nothing. Do it for nothing whatsoever. And I get angry when people have a go at those. Does that make sense? I'm very, very defensive of those people. Very, very protective and defensive of those people, because without all of those people, you'd have nothing. If you got nothing, I got nothing. Real numbers. Taffle. What do you mean, Glocken? Now we're talking about being honest. Voobly official, the real numbers. Taffle. What? Explain. In English. Come on.
I think he was saying something earlier about... it's a reference to a joke he made earlier. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, Glocken, you'll have to explain. Next one, the Peganator. Any plans to work with Zach? I got no problem at all working with Zach. I got all the respect in the world for Zach, and I hope he respects me as well. We've had multiple discussions over the years. He respects our stance and our principles, and I sort of respect the position he's coming from. And we've had very, very few, certainly between myself and Zach, I don't think we've ever really fallen out once. We have difference of opinions. Certainly in the earlier days where he wanted to stream live events run by Voobly at the same time as us, which was not going to happen, but he respected that. Do you know what I mean? He didn't come back with it, didn't create fuss from it. It's the rest of the community that like to cause the drama around that, if that makes sense. Rest of the community like to create that fuss and that drama. I've always had very, very respectful, open and honest discussions with Zach, and I've had dozens of them. Dozens and dozens. And the only time I ever get annoyed for the want of being annoyed is when things get warped. And it happens all the time. It still happens now. People warp, and I'm not talking Zach, I'm talking everything within the community. People warp things to match what they want it to show, if that makes sense. Glock and Taffel was rigged. All admins got prizes. That's absolutely not true. We went through this before, and the good thing was I created an actual open thread with all the prize winners, so you go through the percentages. No Taff t-shirt. It was never a Taff t-shirt. What do you mean? You lost me.
Unless he means a Taffel t-shirt.
I hope everybody that won prizes actually received their prizes. I'm pretty sure they have. The guys that were doing the t-shirts, I've worked with them a lot. That was a lot of work, that was, guys. That was fucking chaos for me. Even for my standards, that was a lot of work. A lot of work. I don't think I'd be rushing into that again. Although if Tyrant came back and said, look, Taff, I'm going to give you X amount of £1,000 to give away all his prizes again, obviously I'm going to say yes, brilliant, and I'm going to do it all again. But that was a nightmare. That took so much time and effort. It was freaking crazy. Right, what else am I missing?
Well, Butter Chicken says, shouldn't we use tournament prize money to advertise and market the community? The thing is, tournament prize money comes from sponsors who want to see tournaments.
Don't you think instead of organising big cash tournaments, use that money for marketing? It's not our money, Butter Chicken. It's not our money. Admittedly, we paid from all of the donation, everything. We paid for the WSVG prize, but we didn't pay for the tournament. WSVG paid for all of that. So we just gave a tiny percentage, which was the prize money for the players. It cost a hell of a lot more money to get them there and to pay to keep them there and to get them back home than it did for us as a prize money. But without us giving the prize money, I would never have got AOC to the Maldives, because in the grand scheme of things, none of us are dull. I mean, Jesus, you only got to look at the numbers. AOC is a tiny game compared to all the other games. So we have to do things in a different way to get us out there and get our name out there with the big games. We haven't got bloody 2 million viewers or 500,000 viewers or 300,000 subs. We haven't got that. We're never ever going to have that. But if we've still got 3, 4, 5, 6,000 people every hour, every day playing this game after 1999, however many years that is, 16, 17 years, to me that is a huge success. That is massive. I didn't advertise it, I didn't say anything, but Voobly actually broke its users by hour record again in January for the first time since last February. So we're not going down, we're not even losing numbers, we actually broke another record in January. Do you know what I mean? And that to me is amazing. If in 10 years time we've still got the same amount of thousands of people playing this game, is a massive success to me. Massive success. We're never ever going to have 2, 3, 4, 500,000 players. So for us to get into these big things, you have to go about it a different way. So for example, in our way, we paid the prize money. So we put that up as a team, as a community team that does all this for you. We put up the prize money for the players to compete for the Maldives. And then the sponsors paid for everything else. But without us putting up the prize money, we wouldn't have got that event in the beginning. If that makes sense. Whereas the other games didn't have to put up the prize money. What else am I missing?
You can answer Zygene's question.
Zygene, what did Zygene say? What did you say?
How do you feel about SMB? I have mixed feelings about him.
Fine.
The moment's gone, I think.
Fine. He has his head up his arse sometimes, but he's fine. It's good. It's really good to have people.
Where is that coming from?
It's really good. It's really good to have people that question. Yeah? That question things. And want explanations instead of just acceptance. I love that. I love people personally that disagree with me, but disagree with me for a reason, and then give a logic and an explanation for why they think of something, and then you can discuss, and then you've got a wonderful working relationship that can only be good for your game, that can only be good for AOC, that can only be good for anything that you're doing. I absolutely hate. I've been in senior management levels for the last, 30 years, okay? I absolutely hate yes men. I hate people that won't stand up to you and say, hang on, why are you doing that? Wouldn't it be better to do this? And this is why I think why. And then you may say, no, it won't be because of X, Y, and Z. And they come back and say, well, I agree with X and Y, but how about changing Z? I love that. That's how everybody should be. Does that make sense? I'm sorry. I'm
blushing.
I'm not saying anything you say is worth putting anywhere other than down the toilet, but it's at least you're prepared to say it. I'm joking.
Jesus.
Right, what else have I missed, girls? Have I missed anything else? Will there ever be a chance of a celeb AOC tourney, since high popular Twitch streamers will ever be good enough to compete with top? No, they never ever will. Play each other, be away. No, they never ever will. And if you got, like, I speak to other people within the games. I got quite a few good contacts, and you wouldn't achieve anything. Do you know what I mean? You could get like the two of the biggest Twitch streamers ever, and they'd come and play AOC, and you'd stream it live, and you'd have 300,000 people watching. The instant those two streamers stop watching, you'd be absolutely lucky to keep 5 of those people interested in the game. Does that make sense? So going down that road and spending a lot of energy in that, yeah, it gives you a figure, it gives you a number, it gives you a record. I could break Voobly records easily, absolutely easily, but they're false. They're not sustainable records. Like I got contacts in Twitch, I got contacts through other sources that I could get thousands of people to come and watch our stream for an hour, for 2 hours. I could post, hey, Voobly official stream record, 12,600 people. So what? What does it achieve? It's just a fake number. It's just a number of people that were genuinely there watching, real people, but they're not going to play our game. They're not really interested in Goku playing Dogao. They haven't got a clue who they are. They won't come and play on Voobly. They won't go and play on Steam. So what's the point? What do you achieve? You achieve nothing other than kidding yourself. It gives you a false reality on where you need to really work. If that makes sense. Sorry, I'm ranting too much. SMB, tell me to shut up. Taff, shouldn't we do more to get Steam players to Voobly? No, I don't think we should. Give me Sha, whatever your name is. Sorry, I don't think we should. Players should always be able to play this game without any pressure whatsoever. Play it where you want to play it, with who you want to play it with, and the friends that you're used to. Okay? If people gradually learn about Voobly, get used to Voobly, find that there's patches to play on Voobly and come and play, brilliant. The more you try and force people and tell them they've got to, the more you'll find you'll create an anti-status. So people will dislike it. They will always be protective of where they feel most comfortable. So you shouldn't do any of that. You should just carry on doing what you're doing. Give them the options. If they want to come and play, brilliant, come and play. Give them the tools to come and play. Come and play. If you don't want to play, no problem, guys. If you want to come and watch our stream now and again, brilliant. They slowly get used to it. They slowly get digested, for want of a better word, that they can actually come and play. There's no hassle, there's no crap, there's no us versus them, which is what was being caused over the years. There's too much of that. I've always been against that. I've never ever liked any of my staff or anybody involved with the control of AOC go in with this us versus them thing. If people want to play on Steam, brilliant, go and play on Steam. You're still playing AOC. One day they'll try Voobly. If they like Voobly, they'll stay on Voobly. If they don't, they'll stay on Steam. Doesn't matter, they're still playing the game. Have you thought about saying a player or female?
It's just joking that you'll get more viewers for female players.
No, those still fake figures, man. Yeah, we'll play supermodel versus supermodel, and we'll publicize it all over Twitch. Yeah, all bullshit. Esports is just pro players always have. We try to HTO evil. We try to get players. I certainly, when I come on, and I try to explain a little bit about the players' personalities, how they are, what type of people they are. I don't go into detail because it's their personal lives. But we do also try to get players involved. You know, I love when players come in for interviews after games or before games, or just, I mean, I talk to, well, almost every single player that you would conceive as top experts and involved in tournaments, I will speak to, be it on Skype or be it on private message. I like to try and keep a relationship going with all players, so you get a good feel for the community, you get a good feel for how the game's going or how the place is going, what the issues are. But you also have to think that these players got a little bit of their own personal life or respect or lines you should never cross. So I love them coming and talking to us, getting involved, but I'm not going to force them to, and I'm not going to tell you things that are not my business, that they're their personal lives. But if I say to you, Dogao's a really funny guy and a good guy, not as funny as Loiser. I think Loiser is dry as hell. I really, really like Loiser. I think he doesn't do himself any justice in how he sits back and retreats. But I really, really like Loiser. Out of the lesser players. I mean, the other players are
lesser players.
not lesser, but he's not a Viper. He's not a Jordan, if that makes sense. Yeah.
He could be though.
He could be. I think he sort of hurts himself in his sort of mentality a little bit. But he's a really nice guy, really funny guy. Loisa made me laugh more than anybody in the Maldives, and similar with Dogao. Dogao was very funny as well. Nice guy. Yeah, I like Loisa more than SMB. Yeah, you're right, Zaijin. SMB, you take some questions. You give some of your views. I need to have a quick wee and get another drink.
Well, there are currently no unanswered questions on the Twitch chat, so not a lot that I could do. Don't you think pre-match analysis shows like they show before Super Bowl would be cool? Potentially, but there's not so much of that you can do without seeing maps and civilizations, because like in sports, the team lineups are released ahead of time. You've got lots of stuff to look back on, lots of footage. We don't have that kind of scouting, if you like, and information gathering and production. And again, it can have no bearing if we talk about how a player did something in a previous game and then he has a set of maps like today, like Dogao's, for example, where he had to go 100% forward in every single map because his map dictated that. So I think what we try to do is, certainly when I'm streaming, I try to think of any sort of like overarching stuff that might apply to the upcoming game, or we try and do it whilst the game's going on or in the early stages, or we try and do a recap, so like a game analysis. But I don't think we could do a Super Bowl preview type thing. SMB, do I like Taff? Not when he's slandering me on this tournament. Sorry, on the stream after this in front of all these people. But yeah, actually, it's a pleasure to work with Taff. Do my best Irish accent. I can't do accents at all. Do I think there's enough drama in AOC zone? Absolutely, but there could be a line in developing some kind of spin-off and calling it drama zone, and maybe like, I don't know, writing a screenplay of it and putting it on TV because the drama is good enough. When does the next game start? Nothing tonight because nothing is scheduled. Go to aoczone.net and look in the event calendar, because that's where we put all our upcoming streams. There's nothing confirmed by players at the moment. Talk about me, I'm your idol. That's good to know, Zaijin. Is there some kind of statistics like that for AoE? No, not really. Actually, it's funny because Milmano was saying this to me earlier today. Like, he'd love it if you could see how civilization win rates in tournaments changed over time to see how the meta's moving, but that's just a pipe dream. You'd need somebody doing that as a full-time job or some incredibly sophisticated kind of like data mining thing that could do that.
Yeah, that sounds a bit crazy though.
Yeah, I think I've caught up with everything they had.
HTO Evil said, SMB, do you like Taff? Did I miss that bit?
Yeah, I said not when you're slandering me on the stream to 130 people, but yeah, I did say it. I took it back in the end and I said, yeah, it's a pleasure to work with you. And indeed, like the rest of the team, I mean, I'm a fairly new member of the team. I guess I've been here 4 months or so now and gradually got more involved, and I've taken on more different stuff because I've enjoyed the different types of things that I've been doing, and everything that I do is rewarding because I'm either working with some great people to bring content to you, or like actually producing the content and releasing it is satisfying as well. Like, I started off just doing a little bit of streaming and then gradually did more and more, and then started doing YouTube as well before Christmas, and now I also put around the same time started dreaming up my own tournament that I put on, and then I think through that I've kind of been absorbed into a little bit of discussion with you over the tournament and ended up now as one of the kind of sub-admins of this tournament. So like, I've been getting more and more involved with things and enjoying it all because it is rewarding, and the team is growing. Like, when I joined the Vubli team, and I was kind of surprised to figure out how many people are involved behind the scenes, and people I never knew actually did stuff are actually working really hard, and a lot of them don't perhaps get the public recognition, or just like I don't mean recognition as in fame, but just it's nice that people know that these people are doing the work.
Yeah,
But that team has continued to grow, hasn't it? Like, we've been taking in new streamers and all that, and it's great to see the growth, and the continued forward progress and new faces.
Yeah, but you'll find that in any sort of volunteer team, people that do things for free, for the community, for the better of other people, not themselves, it comes and goes. Do you know what I mean? I've had lots of good people over the years on various levels of Voobly staff that come and go. Do you know what I mean? People move on with their lives, and that's expected and understandable. So you'll always find new faces, but it's really nice. It's nice for me to try and not to tell people what to do, because that's not what I do, but to try and give a bit back to other people that want to step up to try and help and try and admin and try and control events, just to try and give a bit of my experience or a bit of my life experience or knowledge into those people. So then the day comes when I'm not here or I'm not able to spend as much time, AOC doesn't suffer. AOC can still go on. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, okay. Perceived Mr. Taff has disappeared, but it doesn't matter, because there's like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of the people behind the scenes that are able to step up and keep things going, and to me that's brilliant. That's exactly what you want. Is there a schedule on who will cast what? There isn't anything booked in advance. The way we sort of work is we've got a team of people that monitor and check everything, and they update us. They update us on when a particular match is going to be played, and then as a team, the team sort of looks at those times. Does it fit with them? And if it fits with them, they say, yes, I'm able to stream this if nobody else wants to. And that's exactly how it is. And then sort of, it could be fairly early. If somebody says, yes, I can stream that, 100% definite, we can book it days in advance. If we know somebody can, but we don't know who, we still book it, and then we just decide later down the line which one of the people's going to do it. Tonight's a perfect example. I was always due to be streaming this Dogao versus Stroke Bars match. It was delayed a couple of days. Tonight didn't fit in with me because I had family or personal things to deal with. So other people in the team were ready to step up and take over. But I always felt obliged to want to do this because I'd said all along I was going to do this match. So then it was literally, I think it was like 20 minutes before the game started, it was finally decided that I was the one that was going to be doing it instead of one of the other team. And that's not because we decided it, it's because we want to try and spread out the work. So I mean, I'm the worst one of the lot to be doing this thing. I would much rather one of the other guys who were just streaming and set up and ready for streaming to do it. But we like to spread it all out as a team and all get together and do it. So yeah, it's nothing decided in advance. Balls had an illness. He had something wrong with his eyes, I think, but I haven't spoken to him personally. I was just told he had an eye problem and he wouldn't be able to even delay a week or 2 weeks. He just wouldn't be able to play, so... what if you find out that the cast was really bad or was drunk during the cast? No, I don't take them off the list. We've had people that have had issues before. Issues you can't help. I mean, if somebody does something really bad or is quite vocal or swearing, yeah, obviously I speak to them. We need to keep this as perceived professional as possible. Do you know what I mean? But that doesn't mean you can't say some things that are wrong or against people. That's understandable. But yeah, if somebody goes out of the way and makes a right arse of a stream, then obviously we speak to them and we definitely try and correct them and put it right. And if they're really not up for it, then we remove them from the team. Yeah, there's not enough.
You may have arrived at a natural stopping point, I was going to say.
Yeah, I'm just answering the match search system. There's just not enough people. We've discussed this so many times. I've created so many different scenarios on how it can work, how it can't work. There's just not enough players. to create a like matchmaking system where you select you want to play Arabia, I want to play 1v1, I want to play within this range, I want to play that civ. You could sit there for 3 hours before you see a bloody game. Do you know what I mean? There's just not enough, there's not enough need, not enough player base to actually warrant a matchmaking system, or we would have done it. Does that make sense? Sorry. Yeah, I hope Balls is fine. I've tried his username a couple of times to see if he's online, just to check he's fine and okay, and anything we can sort of do. Obviously we can't, it's a bloody eye issue, but yeah, but it'd be nice to catch up with Balls to check everything's fine. But it's also good to have Goku come in and take over and schedule really, really fast, keep up with the games and step straight in and play. That's the beauty of a 1v1 tournament over a team game tournament. You know, it makes life so much easier for the players to catch up on games, catch up on scheduling. I touched on this a little bit earlier when I said about some groups you may not see too many matches. Well, that's because there's personal things going on, or there's holidays, there's like Chinese festivals, and other players will want to play their games really, really quick. So you may find some players will play like 3 rounds in 1 week. That's the good thing with 1v1, so you can stay on track. But what we tend to do as a team on the admin of Voobly events is there is a cut-off point, and that cut-off point will be the start of the next stage. So I'll give leeway up until that cut-off point, but then as soon as it gets to the quarterfinals, it's tough. Then it becomes admin decision time, yeah? So you keep your tournament on track while still giving players some leeway for real life and personal lives. At the end of the day, they're not professionals. Do you know what I mean? Their job doesn't revolve around playing AOC. They also have a life as well, be that real life, work, jobs, or studying. Yeah, Goku was really, really up for it when I asked if he would join. As I explained earlier, it was like Christmas time for a kid. Do you know what I mean? He was so pleased and so up for getting in, and it's well deserved. Goku would be absolutely one of the people that I would have put in this event.
The guy asking about Yo versus Lang, I think he's looking at the slideshow image on the overlay. That's just a picture of who the players are in the groups. It's just coincidence that Goku and Dogao are on the same line. Yo is due to play Fire next, and that's been ongoing scheduling without anything being decided for quite some time, and I don't think anything else has been confirmed yet, has it?
No, not that I know of. Do I prefer to watch 1v1 tournaments over 2 games? To be totally honest with you, other than the admin inside, I very rarely watch a tournament. People get quite surprised when I tell them things like I don't think I've watched an actual recorded game since about 1999. That doesn't do it for me. I would much rather watch the chat. I would rather watch the people. I would rather watch how people think of things or feel of things instead of watching 2 players play. I'll briefly watch bits. I'll watch snippets. I can pick up things very quickly on how things are going, and that's it for me. I tend to get bored watching an actual recorded game, or I would never sit and watch the actual game stream all the way through. I would just listen and watch the chat. So that's just for me. Do you know what I mean? I don't like that. It doesn't do it for me. I don't enjoy that at all. I don't know Masters of Arena Evil. That's Swiss Boy's tournament, and he's got experience in doing it. I have every faith in what Swiss Boy decides or sets. He's comfortably gone through and decided himself. But no, we don't run that tournament.
Taff still plays. He dies to my Men at Arms and Tower Rushes.
I don't play. I genuinely don't play. Every time I have a game, it's normally a fun game. It's with the Leo guys more than anything. I'm part of the Leo clan. I love playing with those guys. It's just totally for fun. Honestly, that's all I ever do is play for fun. I don't have a single build order anymore. I don't have a strategy anymore. I just like to... Don't get me wrong, nobody wants to play to say, right, I'm just going to quit and lose. I'll try my best, but I'm really not interested that much in being competitive. I don't practice. I don't watch recs. I don't check strategies. I wouldn't have a clue how to tell you the build order for an Arabia 1v1. No idea whatsoever. If you said to me, Taff, I'll give you £1,000,000 if you tell me the standard expert build order for Arabia 1v1 Huns, I could not tell you. Yeah, but if you tell me my opinion on who's going to win a game or why or what the strategy is, then yeah, I can work those things out. But no, I'm not heavily. I played very, very seriously up until 2002. That was earlier than you guys even started. I played very serious level. I played high level, and then I stopped, and I just chilled, and I relaxed, and I enjoy the admin and the running and the organisation more seriously than I do the playing. Even though I love to play. I love playing the game. I really enjoy the game. I love playing the game with friends, but for all the right reasons, not the wrong reasons. Anyway.
Yeah, I was playing back when the time you're talking about, but I was 10 and playing the single player campaigns.
I remember Chris very, very first starting this game and trying to get into our games, and people wouldn't let him come and play, and that was Chris. That was well before Doubts and all of those people. Yeah, you gotta play. You gotta enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, there's no point playing it. And I've seen so many people give so much heart into being the best they can or as competitive as they can, and then they give up and they lose because they just can't do it, and then they go and play something else. Well, that's up to them. I just enjoy chilling. Why did I stop? Why did I stop playing competitive? Because it just didn't interest me anymore. A lot of my teammates or my best friends sort of moved on and stopped playing, and I had a couple of years where I didn't really play much. I just checked behind the scenes, and then that was it. I sort of suited me more. I enjoyed it more. I was always a sort of organisational type anyway, and then I started to see what I thought could be done better, so I started getting involved in that side instead of playing. But don't get me wrong, it's still lovely to win a nice game and think you played well, or you helped your team, or you saved your teammate, even if it's 1300, 1400, 1500 level. It doesn't matter. It does not matter whether it's that level or 2K2 level. If you did your bit and you've enjoyed your game and you've helped your teammate and you've played with your friends, that's all that matters. That is it. That's the be all and end all. You could be 2K3 and unhappy as shit. You could be 1400 and loving it. You know what I mean? That's all that counts.